Right, old chap, here is your disassembled Roco Loco, the three rail one. I have taken it apart. Here we are in sort of order of disassembly. Lighting's not brilliant, I'm afraid. There is the Loco itself, Loco body. Here is the PCB. Very interestingly, it seems to have a solenoid and some great big green box. I'm not quite sure what that does. They're the two prongs which come down and actuate touch to the motor. There's the lights on the back, front light, back light, depending which way you're going. There's the selector switch to either select overhead gantry or third rail. And then there seems to be a box of tricks sitting at the back, which I presume is the rectifier and various other things. Next are the two plastic light conductors, which go to the front and back lights, depending on which light they're on. The depends which bulb is activated, depends it dictates whether it glows red or white. That seems to be cab 2, which seems to be the front end, bizarrely enough. Cab 1 seems to be empty. That's the front bogie with the drive mechanism, with the spring universal joint, not what they call it, power coupling, which I'll show you where that attaches to in a second. There's the rear bogie. The brown wire was the wire that came off the centre rail and attached to that brown wire there, which I've chopped off. So that's the rear bogie with no drive. It's just purely electrical pickup. That's the front bogie. The four wheels there are driven. I see they've actually got tyres. Then you have the main chassis, which is this lump of metal in here with the motor in there. I don't know if we can see if I put some light on it. There is the other end of the power coupling, which goes into the spring there. That's the motor with some insulating on the top, and it's just a great big chunk of metal, to be honest. And then underneath is what can best be described as some sort of skirt, which sort of hides the drive wheels, etc., etc. The order in which you see it disassembled here now is the sort of not the order put it back together, but the direction. So they're all pointing that way, if that is the driving cab. So the main message is that, subject to testing the motor, that it works on a DC voltage, which is out on the output side of a chip. I think it's perfectly doable. A lot of the PCB is going to require rewiring. All this rectifier stuff at the end can go. All this solenoid stuff underneath here can go. I want to take that out because I want to put the chip there. I will keep the PCB. I will have to rewire a lot of it. Basically, it's a one-way trip. Once converted to DC with two-rail pickup, it's a one-way trip. It's not going to be fixed, not going to be convertible back to three-rail. But I shouldn't think that's a problem. The wheels are insulated from one another, so there won't be a short. The pickups seem to come from the inside. I think you can probably just see a pickup there if it can focus. Come on, focus. There we go. You can just see a pickup there. The red is actually plastic, so it's metal on plastic metal rims on plastic wheels. So they are insulated from one another, so there won't be a short. Those two copper phosphor bronze, tabs which come out are connected to the pickups. You can probably just see that pickup coming into the wheel. They will have to be chopped off, and because what they do is they touch the underside of the body somewhere along here. I think it's around where is it? It's just where my thumb is there, and would have made the current. So the whole body would have been chassis negative, so to speak. And on the drive end you can see there's the same assembly. Now what I will have to do is chop those two tabs off, and then against that plate there that you can see in the middle I will solder the pickups on either side. So there is a bit of chopping. PCB will certainly need some rework. Otherwise I think it's possible. I'll plug the motor into a DC supply in later on and see if it all works okay. But looks possible to convert to DC to rail. The pickup as was is here on your screen now, and that was attached to that screw in the middle there. That screw in the middle there is attached to this wire, which was attached to the PCB, that wire there. Okay, if you don't want me to do this, shout pretty quickly. Speak to you soon. That's the whole assembly. I might use this video to try and put it back together, and just while I'm thinking about that, the way these go back in is there is a metal, to help me reassemble it, there is a metal sort of brace there with a slight ridge on it. There are two plastic lugs just above those phosphor bronze pickups, and what they do is articulating the chassis in like this, go in there and then sort of in there and clip on to, so they go in like that. Okay, bye.